Before I get too carried away, I'll show you this. There is a locking clip with a special groove that blocks off this entire groove and it snaps on. It prevents the tap. Now they go one way, so you won't mess it up. See, I can't go that way, but it'll go this way. It prevents the tap from lifting up and moving around in any certain circumstances. It's pretty secure. Once it's on there, it's on. Like I said, you won't get it round the wrong way, it won't go on. But this way, it's on. I can get that to focus a bit better. See what I mean? Because the tap has to lift up before it can go across. And with this little device, it won't. And that's on there. It's not coming off. Now let's get on with the rest of the video. I just want to get that out of the way. Get that concern out of everyone's minds before we proceed with the video. Enjoy. Alright folks, got two cars here, both mine. The Rodeo with the 6VE1, 3.5 litre V6. And the Celica with the 2.2 litre Camry motor in it, the S5 FE I think it is called, 5S FE, I can't remember how it goes. Whether it's the 2.2 or the 2 litre, I don't know if they have the same plug, but what I will say is, this red dot is M12 by 1.25. And on that, it's M14 by 1.5. And they're both right here, and obviously there's going to be a link in the description so you can go to the store and... Okay, so whatever you got, I'm even going to put one on my bike. I think it's an M... I'll double check in a later video. There's some plugs at the back in a stupid place. It'd be a tap like this one. And yeah, so I'll record putting these in here. No, this is a shit, so I'll show you when it's done. This guy here will be easier to record, but the engine's warm in this one should be cold. Okay, it's warm. I'm just gonna plug the hole with my thumb when I pull the bolt out and stick one of these, stick this one in. If I could, I think there should be a 1.25 M12 1.25 of this shape too, but I think this one should be okay. But and they come with hoses and stuff, so I want to try and set it up so that the hose could anyway, let's get into it. So it's on. I'm just letting that warm up and dry up because, you know, so I undid the sump plug. As soon as I cracked it, finger in the hole, got the new one in there. So it's definitely M12 by 1.25 because it's in there and it looks good. Now its location you will see in just a sec when this is all warmed up. Great, there's nothing gonna hit it. I mean, you got brake lines and all kinds under there. The position of that tap on this car is quite good. Now I accidentally left this under bonnet light on. For like 2 weeks. Didn't even know it was on. and didn't hurt it. That's alright, eh? Yeah. So I'll get under the Rodeo and do the same thing, which this one will be easy. It wasn't hard at all. It really wasn't hard. I don't do the sump plugs up stupidly tight either. So that one's there. Bit warm, I'll just crack it, loosen it off. Same again. These actually did come with hoses, but I don't think they're needed for this. And these would be those hoses. It's the they're clear, and they look pretty good too. Also came with some little fittings that I don't know where I put them. I'm lucky. My application, I don't really need them. You know, straight out, straight in. I suppose I could install them, but waste of time really. But I'll definitely keep a hold of them. Now, if I only had those fittings, I'd show you. But look, I had them, and I've looked everywhere. I just can't find. Squish. Squish. That's not food. I'll get you those marshmallows. I need those. Yes, I need those. Anyway, back to the cars. Better go get these marshmallows and feed Squish, and then get back to it. Buddy, get these valves on. I might even, depending where I want to stick it, where do I want to point the thing? We'll see. Let me put it on, and by then the silica should be dry, and I'll be able to show you whether it's leaking or not. I don't expect it to. These guys, from what they were telling me, they've been going since the 70s, and very nice parts. Yeah. Oh well, the perks of having a lifted ute. No jacks required. I think, yeah, when I did the clutch, I didn't jack it up enough, and I just slipped under here, and away I went. I did that 2 years ago. Beautiful. No leaks. I didn't think there would be. Now I've just installed the Rodeo one, but it's still wet, so like from the greasing and stuff. So as you can see, I can't see that valve. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm not going to have any problems with that. You know, each to their own, but I'm doing the valve thing from now on. I'll start the Rodeo up and warm that engine up and let that dry, and we'll have a look, see if it's leaking. The other thing I want to do with this, while this is warming up, is put an oil filter relocation kit on. You know, don't have to worry about that with this, because it's right there. Bang, change the oil filter. But with this one, it's, there it is. So I want to relocate the oil filter, put it somewhere else. And I found a kit online, braided oil lines, all that stuff. Now I'm wondering, I don't know if it's possible, but can I convert, just find the right thread to change from the Z79A to a Z9? Heck, that's a $10 bloody filter, and so is the Z9, but the Z9's a lot bigger. And I've looked into it. The magnets do sound like a good idea. When you put the magnets on the oil filter, There's a lot of talk that if you do that, you can end up with a big clump of metal that can either block off an oil passage, you know, the return valve, or it'll actually pass through and do damage. If you've got that much metal coming off, like throughout the motor, if you've got that much going on that you're ending up with a big clump like that, you're not in there putting filters and stuff on. You're pulling the motor out because it's knocking, it's bloody blowing smoke, the blow by is terrible, the bloody thing, you're pulling the motor out. Maintenance is key, and yeah, from what I've seen online already, those magnets are good, because by the time you reach, I do mine every 5,000. You can do yours every 10,000 k's. Here in Australia, k's, you know, it's not miles, but you know the different. You know, you guys in America, whatever your mileage is that you do. I saw someone open air filter, and there was clearly a lot of stuff that got caught, which would have gone through the filter otherwise, but not enough to cause a big clump of metal that, you know, that would break off and cause problems. It's just not going to happen in any normal circumstance that I can think of, and if it does, you're probably driving that car to a place where you can pull the motor out if it still runs. If you have and just on that, if you have a terrible knock in your motor, don't drive it. Oh, okay, I guess if you got to get home, you're driving home from work or something, you've got to get home, so be it. But try and be careful, because at the moment your block is still good. You haven't thrown a rod through the block, it's still good. It's still salvageable. You can rebuild it. Throw the rod through the block. If you want to salvage that block, you've got to do a lot of work to do it, and it's hardly worth it by that time. I shouldn't really explain too much, you know. At the end of the day, if you look after your gear, you shouldn't have any of these problems. But while it's warming up, do it well. Okay, check it out. Yeah. I'll turn the camera light off. You know, they don't annoy me. I like them. They're calming. You know, when I'm angry, they, you know, I'm driving along thinking about stuff, they calm me down for some reason. They're just nice. That's the sky blue. That might even be warm enough now. I shouldn't have to pause the video. Yeah, that's dry. And not leaking. Come on, focus. Focus. Of course it's not leaking. Then something would hit that cross member before it hits that. Now that there, straight into the bloody pan, you know. I've got the hoses, but both cars, oh see that, that's a cat. Oh. Both cars, the hose isn't necessary. I've got it pointing in a pretty good spot. So, yeah. But, you know, all the things that can get caught and snagged and stuff, you know, these feel pretty robust. Like I said, they've been making these things since the 70s. Both cars, if they end up getting hit hard by something, I've done something wrong. I'm very confident, and I'll keep you guys up to date. The next oil change I do, I'll show you how it works. But all I did, while it was cold, I unscrewed it. As soon as it popped off, thickener on, got the next one ready. Now it's on you. There wouldn't even be enough oil to warrant topping the engine up, both of them. So my next oil change on both of these. See, I've got to take this bash plate off to do the oil filter on this. And it annoys me. So I'd like to eliminate that by relocating the oil filter. Oh, look at that, another fluff. Hey, fluff. Yeah, if I can relocate the oil filter, and there's nothing wrong with me steering there, that's wet from the greasing. Put the oil filter up top, it'll be a lot easier. But this isn't me daily. This is my show pony, and it does go to work sometimes, but the rest of the time my daily is the Celica. And I mean, the only tool I need, if I do ever need it, you can actually buy these. Oh no, it's in the car. I'll show you this. If there's a part number there, I'll try and show you that too. Because this will be for the camera as well, like I said, it's that motor. Oh, there's an oil filter for it. So you want the Z386, and then the tool itself that undoes it. Come on. Been doing stuff lately, and things are a bit disorganised. It's here somewhere. There's my Celica also has an air compressor. I'm going to bolt it down, and I'm going to probably have a recoil over there on that side, and maybe a second battery inside the boot to supply it. Why? Well, when you do get those flat batteries, you certainly appreciate them. Give you a chance to bloody find this thing, eh? I want to show you this tool. You know, it was in there. But if you go into, I got this from Super Cheap Auto. This is 201 65mm / M14 Ryco 06-27. This fits the back of the filter. And it's a very, very good fit. In fact, every time I take it off, I got to bloody knock the bastard out of this tool and I'm done. This is what's written on the inside, 201 65-14. You could put a socket on the outside or a shifter. You can put, what size is that? Not that it matters, you got a socket set, you can do it. Yeah, all my sockets are actually in the car, I think, but that looks like a 1/2 inch drive. Hang on. Hang on. 1/2 inch drive. So if you have the Camry or the You can go in the Super Cheap Auto if you're in America, whatever, Ryco or whoever makes these. These are the numbers you need to look at for the oil filter. Really makes life a lot easier. So I changed that oil regular, so on tap, underneath, and just an extension bar on this guy here. Boom, done. I mean, that on its own is a game changer. Thanks for watching. Keep your... No, Ave took that one. Well, I guess I'll just see you all in the next video. Catches.